Hello and welcome to one of, well, actually, it's like my third YouTube video now, possibly third or fourth. But I am here with one of my besties, Amanda, and we just thought that we would come on and talk a little bit about like holidays, like as coaches, how we navigate them, how we prep for them, and like how you can genuinely be on holiday and be surrounded by all the food and not feel like you need to eat everything in sight, and have a good sort of plan of action in place, because that would be, I don't know if you're the same, Amanda, but that's one of the major things that clients come to me with, is if they go on holiday, they freak out, they don't know what to eat, they gain loads of weight, they come back, they fall off the bandwagon, and then they genuinely fear going on holiday every time. Or secondly, they don't start something because they've got a holiday coming up and they know they're going to be eating like rings around them. So I thought, whilst we're in Thailand, like this would be such a good topic just to come on and have a quick gab about, and like hopefully give you guys some tips on what you can actually do and what you can actually action ahead of your next holiday. So obviously you've just come out of a deficit yourself, because obviously we both did a photo shoot together in Dubai. Me personally, because I've just moved to Dubai, I didn't even reverse diet. I came completely out of the deficit and ate rings around me and gained 3.5 kg, just to be completely transparent. However, I obviously have gone through like quite a big life change, and I just was enjoying it, and I was like happy enough to sort of gain that weight and knew that I could get it back off again. So for me, it wasn't so much that my habits changed, it was just like the contents of the food that I was eating just wasn't optimal, because I was doing a lot more socializing. But for you, Amanda, sort of coming from what you eat at home compared to like what you eat here, like how do you find there's much a change, or like what do you say to your clients whenever they go on holiday?
So typically for me, when I come out of a deficit, you've worked so hard to get the results in the first place. Why would you want to put them in the bin coming on holidays? We travel quite a lot with our kids. So like, it's not a matter of doing a diet phase every time I lead up to a holiday. So I really wanted to come out of this diet phase with like a really sustainable approach that I could keep the results and do like a tidy up, later down the track when we've another holiday coming up. So we use something called the CPR method. So it's control, plan, and reflect. And that allows you to maintain your results while you're on holidays without restricting yourself entirely. As you know, love a spicy margarita, love our meals out. Yeah. We're staying in this incredible all-inclusive hotel. I think if anything, I've kept things really tight and maintained results really well. So I've been super happy with that. But it's just, you can't have your cake and eat it. You need to put in some parameters. Now, if you want to go on holidays and enjoy, go for it, but you do need to manage expectations around that. And for me, coming away, it was like, I want to keep the results that I've worked so hard to, but also have a little bit of leeway and flexibility with the kids, catching up with friends, and the whole lot. So or C for control, like controlling your environment, could make it controlling your food choices. So breakfast for me is always going to be high protein, high fiber. Lunch is much the same. We're sitting by the pool, whereas I'll bank most of my calories for our evening meals, which is always 3 courses and always with a few drinks involved. P is for plan, or that can also be partner up. So if you're traveling with a partner, that you come up with a bit of a system that you can implement together. But for me, obviously doing this by myself was just planning what my day was going to look like. So when we went to the beach club, knowing that I was going to have an abundance of calories. So just being a bit smarter the day before, the day after. And then or is reflecting, okay, how did I manage things? What went well? What could I improve on for the next day, and all the rest? And that just gives you a little bit of flexibility without being super rigid in how you approach things while you're traveling, and being able to enjoy things.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think so. You can obviously go on sometimes styles of holidays where it's quite hard to eat clean, the likes of like going to America or something, and it's all fast and all fried food. So in Thailand, obviously everything's really clean, really fresh, and it's so easy to eat healthy here. So like for me, and one thing that I would also tell my clients is pretty much the exact same as Amanda said, is like you need to manage your expectations if you're going on holiday. You can't expect to go on holiday and keep your results like completely and not gain a pound of weight. A lot of it sometimes will be like water weight by the time you come back if you have kept it relatively clean, but you also, holidays are a time to enjoy yourself as well, so you should be able to go and enjoy yourself within reason and not feel like you have to be restrictive. But it's the habits that you sort of build in place before you go away. So like if you are eating say oats or yogurt or something high protein for breakfast at home, why are you coming on holiday and eating 3 donuts and a cup of coffee? Like it doesn't really make any sense. It's just that mentality of, oh, I'm on holiday, so I need to eat everything. The more you can actually just stick by what you do on a daily basis and still add a couple of cocktails, a 3-course dinner in here or there. Like, you'll feel so much more confident in yourself. So that's what I always say, is your main meals, keep them relatively the same as what you would eat at home. If you want to have a cocktail, have a cocktail. If you want to have a dessert, have a dessert. But another thing I actually do find on holiday is moving. Like, I quite enjoy, just even if it's like a walk on the beach, or if it's a quick 20-minute like gym session, or obviously here in Thailand, like getting to the fitness classes, like it's been great as well. I think like if you're moving a bit more, it's obviously allowing you to have a little bit more food or a little bit more drinks in other areas as well. And obviously staying hydrated, because a lot of the time, the more like hungry you are, a lot of the time it's actually dehydration as well. So you don't realize that. But we are the queens of balance. We love a cocktail, love a glass of wine.
One other thing that I've seen from coaching over the years as well is that, like, we've all done it, hands up. I've been guilty of this before as well, where you're like, I've got 12 weeks to my holiday. You diet into the ground. You don't do a maintenance phase before you go away, or reverse to bring your calories up. So by the time you get on that plane, you're starving. You've restricted all of the good things from your life.
And you eat
Everything on site, everything in sight. So before you've even landed at your hotel, you've had cocktails at the airport. Whereas, like, if you just see your holidays as an extension of what your life is normally like, bring your calories up before you travel, you're going to have so much more food freedom and so much more flexibility and enjoyment. And like, granted, we'll all put on a kilo or two while we're away, but like, you're not having to bite back into a huge surplus that you've created because you've been so restricted in the lead up.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so just to wrap up, because we've now been gabbing for about 7 minutes, all about food and about Thailand and our holidays. So just to wrap up, if you are someone who is going on holiday, you always feel like it's that binge restrict cycle, you go away like dieting, starving, come back with 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 pounds on, and you don't know how to break that cycle, 3 things that you need to work on. Go for your method again.
CPR method: control, plan, reflect.
And you need to make sure that you are staying hydrated, keep some sort of movement in there. And remember, holidays are meant to be enjoyed. They're meant to be a time spent with loved ones, family, friends. And as long as you stick relatively to what we've just spoke to you about, you will not go too far wrong. Adieu?
Perfect.
Perfect. Bye.
Bye.
Off to have a margarita now.